Peaches, please go ahead.
Yeah, it was just to answer in the sort of the general terms of, this class. I see people who have got money, who have lost money. There's a lot of people in this area who have ended up here where I am. It's very, very deprived, because they've not been business savvy. They're not been very good with money. They started out well and then they ended up at the bottom. And I think it takes a very special kind of person to dig their way all the way to the sort of top financial stability and the rest. I think that, I mean, especially in today's society, in this economy, everybody is sort of sliding down the way. But I don't necessarily think that it should play a part in what we do. I think that women should be willing to help each other. And I think I've met a lot of very generous souls, it has to be said, in this movement, people who are genuinely nice people and are really happy to help. Some of them are well off, others aren't. And I think the important thing is actually getting shit done. I posted there about the whole I've been a member of like various different groups, on my journey through all of this. And what I see is like when like Amanda does stuff, she's like, yeah, let's go and protest. I'm totally up for protesting. I've got fucking boards and everything ready to go. So I'm quite happy to go out protesting and to go, climbing up and down closes with letters to deliver by hand, by myself, at fucking the crack of dawn, to make people aware of what is going on in their local area, to do with gender ideology. But it's really hard. I feel like I'm fighting with a hierarchy where, I'm like, oh, do you just want to come? And it's like, oh, well, who's coming? It's that snide. Well, who's going to be there? Who are the big names?
I think I was going to say, like, so I was going to say earlier on, right? So, see, when I said, like, I'm constantly being told, like, I'm the wrong person to be speaking for women in prison, and, so I set up a space to genuinely ask, like, am I harming the cause, right? Because but if anybody that knows me, I'm not fucking trying to get, followers or trying to get a pity party. I'm just like, am I actually, because people kept coming in and saying, you're speaking the wrong way, you're doing this wrong, you're doing this wrong. Anyway, so I set up a space basically saying, am I like genuinely like harming the cause? And then, people were just like, saying their opinions and whatever. But then, like, when we're talking about classes, right? So, for instance, like, this middle class women, right? When you want to start going by labels, come in, spoke like basically load of shit, right? And then started saying that I bring everything on myself and that I perpetuate the drama. It's like, she's like, you perpetuate the drama, blah, 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 fucking sippy sip, never mind, blah, blah, blah. And I was just like, I just thought, these are supposed to be people on our side. And I just thought, I perpetuate the drama. Like, you have no clue, like, what any single person goes through on here, right? So that was another thing that just pissed me off again. Like, see, I wouldn't talk about classism, if you know what I mean, like, because I just talk about somebody's a cunt or somebody's not a cunt. But when you are starting to talk about classism like that, well, good, let's talk about it then. And it's always, as I said, so this is a middle class woman coming in and telling me that I perpetuate drama onto myself, right? And I'd already had it for so many other angles. So I basically, that was the straw that broke the camel's back.
Can I just say something real quick? This doxing thing is getting overboard. There's a lot of people who are doing things undercover and they are trying to hide, but they are doing really good things, exposing predators, and TRAs and their behaviour. And to what that Jenny Watson's just done, she's posted it up. This person's name is putting them at risk. I mean, there's no fucking way. There's loads of people on here that I've had arguments with, but I've no fucking doxed them. I'm not no giving out names. I'm not giving out numbers or addresses or anything like that. But to turn around and start lashing out at people is just really ridiculous. I'm so angry about it. And fucking blackmailing, all this sort of shit. You do this or else I'll do this. What?
I think one of the worst things that makes people a bit wary is because they hear from these fucking stupid anonymous cunts that, oh, Amanda and Peaches were talking about this women's sexual assault or doing whatever, blah blah blah, right? And I'm not going to get into it, but I'm just going to say one thing for anybody that's heard it. right? And anybody that's on here long enough to see the way things go on Twitter, right? I did not bring up anybody else's sexual assault or anything like that, right? Now, I've not mentioned this lassie's name, so nobody knows, so you can all fuck up, right? But just to let people know, this was a woman accusing a fucking lesbian in our friend group of sexual assaulting her, not a fucking man, right? And we were all there for and all the rest of it. And the only reason that I end up talking about it all the time is because they say that I talk about it and I say this and I say this. And people have basically turned it as against, like, oh, Amanda just pure doxes women with sexual assault. And it's like, no, right? Just because you've got a fucking vagina doesn't mean you're honest. I think we all know that, right? And just to let people know, well, it wasn't a man she was accusing, it was a woman. So what do you do? What do you do?
In that situation, I mean, we backed it. It should have been. I mean, I don't know how else to react to that.
We absolutely just went, okay, 100% believed her, and just blocked that other woman, that other lesbian. We just basically believed this woman that told us, right, and just blocked this other woman.
I mean, all I'd say is, in my professional life, when similar things had happened at work, then immediately you just sort of pause, and then you call in all the appropriate services and say this is a really serious claim. I don't think it's helpful to just suddenly leap to one conclusion or another, and I don't think Twitter is the right space to.
That's exactly what we said. That is exactly what.
Stop, because I knew Peaches was going to come in and do this, right? Because Peaches is a nurse and she knows, and there's things being said, right? And I don't want this to get into a conversation about this woman who is.
No. But I'm trying to not make it about this particular case. I'm trying to generalise it.
Right,
and
but
say how you asked how
want to talk about
should
it, I
one
just
deal
want
about
to make sure that every cunt knows that I am not trying to instigate this. This is all I'm saying, right?
No, I'm not saying you are. I'm trying to say, in response to your question, how does one deal with that? One immediately withdraws from having a personal opinion, and then would immediately look to other information.
Yeah, but I'm not talking about you, Heather.
I've been in this situation at work.
I'm not talking to you. I'm talking about Peaches coming in and going, right, but I'm going to just let you know this, and I was trying to say, Peaches,
I'm not going to say that. I'm not going to say that.
Let's just stop you and talking about it.
So what's your solution to that issue?
No, all I'm saying is...
No, Amanda, seriously, what's your solution to that issue? You raise an issue and then...
Well, my issue is, like, all I'm saying is, like, if anybody hears, like, oh, Amanda's speaking about a woman that's been raped or whatever, and da-da-da, right? I am
women can't
more
rape
than
other
willing...
women.
I am
Legally...
always more than willing to give receipts, as you know, and say my piece, right? But when it comes to this sort of thing, people say to me, oh, we can back you until you start talking about a woman who has apparently been raped or sexually assaulted or whatever, right? That's a step too far. And it's like, but you haven't even listened. You don't even know, like... So all I'm saying is, I never usually bring it up. So if you see me trying to fucking, like, stick up for myself, and you see other people being like, oh, she's slagging this woman or whatever that said she's raped, just also know that it's a woman claiming another fucking woman's done it. Peaches will tell you probably anyway, because see, this is the thing. See, if it's going to be open and it's going to be spoken about, then fucking, do you know what I mean? And I'm not going to silence Peaches either.
Sorry, but what's your point? Amanda, what's your point?
My point is, I don't know, I think, as I said, like, my point is, if
you can't
ever
trust
see
anyone.
This conversation about... There's many women and people that try and put me down, right? All I'm saying is, right, if you ever see the conversation or the thing that I'm supposed to have been making a fun about somebody that's raped or whatever, or this some fucking woman, right? All I'm saying is...
So you, who did you block?
No, I've already blocked them.
You blocked both of them, yeah?
Can I just point out something, Amanda? The sock account that attacks you, and there's another lister in here, but there was a person who came in, and it's her, with the sock account that actively attacks Amanda. Can I just point out something? A lot of these people who come in, and that we accept and embrace and look after to the best of our ability, a lot of them, you've really got to be wary of who we bring in. There's a lot of people in here that I trust, but there are people that you've got to be very wary of. The newcomers, the ones who are very new.
Stop Lying has had a hand up for a while.
Sorry.
No, I just want to say, Heather, you keep saying like a woman can't rape another woman, but what they are saying when they keep saying, oh, Amanda keeps bringing up and talking about this woman, they will often say rape. Like they will say, Amanda and Peaches, like, we're talking about this woman's rape because they want to imply that it was a man. So like they are saying that it was rape. So I just wanted to, yeah.
This is why I start getting into trouble, because they'll say, you're talking about someone's actual sexual assault. And I'm like, well, I have to, because people are asking questions. And I'm like, do you know, like, what we're doing now?
But do you have to? I mean,
I do.
But I don't know. I've no understanding of this situation or anything. I mean, I can't understand what you're trying to achieve by this. What's your point?
All I'm trying to say is, if any of you guys, right, agree with anything I say, and sometimes you think that might be a bit close to the bone or whatever, right? But if you've ever unfollowed me because there's this whole thing where if you ever question a woman who's been raped, right, you're an absolute bastard, right? Then please don't unfollow me because of that, or unfollow me if you want. My point is, don't assume.
Okay.
For a long time.
So sorry, you blocked both of them. So what's your point?
Well, they've caused a lot of problems
and continue to cause a lot of problems.
Yeah. So why are you still promulgating this? What's the point?
Right, okay, I'm just going to finish now and roll a joint by saying, right, there's no point.
Okay, so it's some kind of conspiracy thing went on here.
Right, Heather, you're after. Can we just move on? Because
yeah, no, that's absolutely fine, Amanda.
Right.
Absolutely fine, and I'm sorry that's upset you, because that clearly has, and not many things do. But I'm still a bit baffled why you blocked both of them.
So they've both been blocked because.
Okay, Amanda.
Classism.
So I think you were just trying to help. Yeah, you were just trying to help and be supportive.